All right, Diamond.
Yes.
Diamond, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
Um, I've actually just been all around New York. I never really had a specific place. Like, I was born in Long Island, and then I came to the city when I was around like two. My mother wasn't really too stable and living different living conditions, so I've just been all around the city my entire life.
Where was your dad?
What, dad?
Mm, okay. How would you describe your childhood in general?
Honestly, it was good. I say up until I was around 6 or 7. Because then I started to realize things and see things for what it was. And then I was depressed ever since.
What did you realize at 6 or 7 that changed you?
My father left. My mother's mood was very bipolar. And
So your father was around for a few years?
yeah, but he was in and out. It was like he was never there. I can't even fully remember what his face looks like. And I only have one photo of him. And that's about it.
Mm.
Yeah, it sucked.
Any abuse or anything like that go on in your life?
It was verbal, but I never really blamed my mom for it. I felt like she was just mad at the world, and I just happened to be there. So
You go to high school?
no, I actually graduated in 2017. I'm actually, well, yeah, I have my associates, and I never pursued anything else ever since.
You graduated high school
Yeah,
and you went to college, it sounds like?
yeah, I went to a community college in the Bronx.
And you've struggled with mental health issues?
Oh yeah.
You,
Um, yeah, they diagnosed me many different things. First it was anger, bipolar, depressed, then it was bipolar depression, and recently I was finally diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. But they're still also looking into it because they might think I have like a split personality. It's kind of hard to tell.
what kind of things have you struggled with?
Honestly, just taking care of myself on a daily basis. I can't really sit here and say that I love myself or care for myself. Even when I pretend to or I try to give myself like a facade, but it's not really what it is.
What kind of things have you done or have you been through that would tell somebody that you have borderline or anything else?
Honestly, I've tried to take myself out like, in my own life a couple times. It was about 8, 9 times, and then just always going to the hospital ever since. Like, yeah, and it's hard. Like, this is the longest I probably haven't been in a hospital. It's been about 5 months.
Are you on medications now? Or
No, my therapist had told me like there was no real medication to help my disorder, and so did the doctors. Like, I would like to though, but there's nothing that exists. But I've tried it all: the Zoloft, Thorazine, all of it, and nothing.
nothing helped?
But I wanted to. I want to be able to be normal. None of this is normal.
Mm. So what happens? You go through times where you're okay, and then times where you
Yeah,
things get dark for you.
and then there's times where I don't feel like myself. I don't even know who I am half the time, which is why they feel like something in me is split. Because then I'll feel like somebody else, and then there's times I'll go to sleep, wake up, and I feel like a totally different person with a whole new attitude that I don't like, and it's ugly. I've lost friends. I've never really had family, and it sucks. I'm surprised I even have a spouse.
You're married.
Oh no, boyfriend. Whoa, whoa.
Well, spouse is a
Oh, spouses.
yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I've been using the wrong term this whole time. No, boyfriend of about 3 years or so. Yeah, it's been 3 years. But we were friends in the first year. But yeah, I felt like he always understood me, even though there were times where I've pushed him away because of this whole disorder.
How would you describe borderline personality disorder if that's what you have?
Honestly, it's very nerve wracking knowing that there are times where I feel super numb and like just everything feels surreal. It doesn't feel like I'm here at times. Like even this morning, like I had trouble getting out of bed. If it wasn't for my boyfriend telling me, yo, you gotta get up, you gotta get up, I wouldn't have got up. But it's very hard. I don't think there's a word for it. It's terrible and it puts you in a box. Like it makes you stuck in that box. Even though the box might be open, it's like it's wide open, but you're still in that box thinking that it's closed. Like you're stuck in it and that you have no way out or no options. And I don't like it.
Do you feel like this was caused by something that you went through as a child, or do you have other family members that are similar?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I felt like my mom was because people often mistake bipolar disorder with borderline personality disorder because they're like neck and neck, which is why doctors always misdiagnose me. And I feel like some of my family members are, even if they don't know it, because they never really got diagnosed like they should have. I was actually the first person to ever have therapy in my family or want it, per se.
What's been your darkest moment?
My darkest point, it had to be when I got raped. Yeah. And nobody believed me. Not my mom, not my family. Some of them actually made fun of the fact that I was raped. And it made me it made me feel like dirt. And that's when I realized maybe I don't really have a voice. Maybe I don't need a voice. And then I tried to take myself out. And then I was in the hospital for about like 3 weeks to a month.
How old were you?
17, 16, 17. Yeah, 16, 17. And then I was shipped away to like this program in Massachusetts. It was terrible. That was a dark point too. That they restrained people, put them in rooms, restrained jackets, electric shock therapy treatments, cameras in the fucking bathroom. Like, I don't think nobody should ever be sent there. Like, I feel like it's worse than prison. And I've had friends in prison. I hated it. Like, I ended up like having bruises all across my body at one point because of how many times they restrained me, like pinned me to the floor, held me down. It didn't matter if I couldn't breathe or I cried. It just didn't matter.
Are there times where you're okay and everything is good in your life?
I feel like I try to pretend that they are, but they're really not. Because I want to try to live, but I don't feel it anymore. I don't even think I ever did feel it. Like, to me nothing was real. Not friends, not family. There was nothing that really kept me here, and it still doesn't. Like, That's why I reached out to you. I feel like your channel kind of saved me. Thank you. Your channel really,
Seeing other people go through similar things helps you cope with what you're going through.
sometimes I watch your channel till I go to sleep. Like, there was nothing, like I'm trying to find it. I can't find my voice. And right now, you giving it to me is all I cared about. I didn't even care if I got picked or not. Like, I think I just wanted to be heard, not seen as some weirdo or an outcast or pushed aside or neglected. Like, I just wanted to be seen. And I thank you.
I think there's a lot of people going through different forms of similar battles.
Yeah. Then I watched that one girl that talked about borderline personality disorder. And it popped up in my YouTube as like a recommended. I was never even subscribed to your channel.
Is that Sheena?
I think so. She was very beautiful.
Yeah, from Detroit.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And the way she spoke about it. And I'm just like, damn, this is me. Like, my boyfriend said, yo, she reminds me a lot of you.
You're not alone.
Nah, for the first time in my fucking life, yo. I felt like there was somebody there, like,
You feel misunderstood
all the time.
all the time.
All the fucking time. Like, I think that's why I try to take myself out when I can, but it never works.
It's not like your behavior is like you acting out and being a jerk. It's just what you can't help but do at the moment, right?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like there's no other option. I'm still in that box. It's open, but I'm in that box. And inside that box is voices that'll tell me you're not enough. You don't belong here. Nobody cares about you. Nobody loves you. You're always going to be misunderstood. And it's on repeat, like, and it's there. And I try to do anything to make it not real, but it's always it's always gonna be there. Like,
What age was it where this kind of started taking hold?
I think for as long as I can remember, probably like 5, 6.
Really? Early?
Yeah, like super early. But because, therapy wasn't really a thing for people even now. Like, I'm surprised at how much stuff is out now. Like, people talking about anxiety, they're talking about all these mental health problems. When I was growing up, this was not allowed at all. You talk about it, you're grounded, you're to the side. Like, I'm surprised when I used to talk about it, people would look at me like I was crazy.
How old are you now?
I'm just turned 24 in August. And I'm surprised because I did not see myself living past 16. Like, I literally planned to not live until the age of 16. Like, I had wrote a letter. It's still sitting in my Google Drive and everything. Like, I'm really surprised that I'm still here. And I feel so lost now that I'm still here.
Are you hopeful for some kind of remedy, solution, some different approach that might help?
No. Sometimes I'll try to write, but then I get writer's block or super distracted or whatever, and I close it off. Like, I have probably like 3 to 4 unfinished books in my Google Drive, just collecting dust. But no, I still don't know what the fuck I want to do. I feel like I went to college just to be there, just to have some sole purpose, but
Do you have any dreams or aspirations that you'd like to see happen in your life?
Oh, you got me. I'm stuck
Is depression part of what you experience?
all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what my day is like without it. Like the
But
constant
I
voices.
hear you laughing and joking, and
Yeah, because that's the only way I get past it. Like that was my coping mechanism. Like even when I used to be in the hospitals, even some of the staff members, they would look at me like, "Why the fuck are you here? Like you look so joyful. You look so happy." People tell me that all the time. Like even when I was coming here, I used to work by over here, like a block away. And one of the old coworkers I used to work with came by the window like, I recognize that joyful soul anywhere. And I'm just like, oh, like, I don't know. Laughing sometimes is forced. Sometimes I can make others laugh. But weirdly enough, sometimes I'll be so numb that I don't feel it. And I think fully that's why I also reached out. Because I don't want to leave this earth not saying anything, not reaching out, not trying. So I guess this is my way of trying. I didn't know it was going to happen. But, because like I said, I didn't really care if I even got picked or not as long as I gave it a shot. As long as I gave life a shot. I think that's what mattered.
what would you say is your greatest strength? What's your best quality?
I relate. I relate to people and I don't judge. Like, I done heard the craziest stories. You think you've heard some stories, Mark? I done heard too much shit. And people confide in me. Like, at one point, I thought I wanted to be a therapist. Because, you know, people with problems is often the people that's better to be therapists, I feel.
You've been through it.
Yeah, even my therapist, she's been through it. And we relate like no other. She's actually the longest therapist that I've had. Because I'm not good with keeping things. I think that's part of the personality disorder. Like, I'm not good at keeping a job, keeping friends, keeping family. But she's someone that I've kept now for about 4 months, 4 or 5 months. But yeah, I wanted to be a therapist. But I can't help other people if I'm still stuck this way either.
What's your greatest fear?
I don't think I have one. I've already tried death. I mean, if it actually happened, I don't even think I'd be scared of it. I think I'd just be fine. I don't really have too many fears. At first, it used to be being alone, but then I live alone. I've always felt alone, so I'm already living my greatest fear.
Do you have moments where you're feeling good, everything is great, and you're not having these suicidal thoughts?
I feel better, weirdly enough, with them. Like they're a part of me. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like I'm living with different roommates in my head. They're not the best roommates, but they're there and I'm here with them. I don't know. It's not a sensation, but for me it's not the worst. I don't think I've ever had a day where suicidal thoughts never passed by. Even if I'm at a party or I'm out to eat with somebody or sometimes even with my boyfriend, like they're there. At first I used to hate it, but then I've learned to live with them. Yeah.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah. I got a younger sister and an older brother who I call my older sister. We're not all close. I don't really. I wanted to be, but they've. You know how they say that your family is like the people that probably hurt you the most. Well, they've hurt me the most, pushed me, isolated, and now we all just don't talk.
Did you have friends?
Ooh. I mean, I have like a guy best friend. He's one of the greatest people ever. Like, when I first started going to the hospital and everything, he was always there. Or mostly he was always there. Because there was times I went to the hospital and he didn't even know. But he's always been there. Even when he didn't have himself, he had me. And even now, we're kind of distant. And it sucks. It feels like he's not here anymore. But I know that's not the case. But the disorder makes me feel like he's not there. But no, I don't really got friends. If I did, they all abandoned, left, or scarred me, then left me. Yeah.
Diamond, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Do what the fuck you want to do. People are going to judge you no matter what it is. Do what you want. Like, live how you want to live. Dress how you want to dress. Be who you are. Like, I wish I could be who I am fully. I'm still learning that. That's my advice.
All right. Diamond, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thanks, Mark.
I wish you lots of luck with
Thank you so much.
whatever you're struggling with. Thank you.